How I turned a working system into a black screen? What? Okay. Sure.
Hello Linux gamers and welcome
Hi.
to the video. As you may already know, I have been running Linux now for about 8 months after being chained to Windows for over 30 years. My channel is aimed at sharing my journey. Now the thing is, my videos are lagging behind where I am on that journey. I have many in the backlog covering some of the earlier bits, and yeah, this video is a little bit more technical, but I thought I would share it with you now anyway for 3 reasons. 1. To newbies who think Linux is hard. This is to show you that most of the issues on Linux are most likely self-inflicted. 2.
There are certainly cases where things do go wrong, but like with programming, most of the time, you fucked up. Sometimes there are compiler bugs. Sometimes there are framework issues. It's probably not either of those, and you're probably an idiot.
As a cautionary tale to those switching to
Speaking as a verified idiot.
Linux and who like to tinker. Tinkering is fun, but be prepared to screw stuff up. And to those who know what they are doing, go on, have a good laugh on my account. You're welcome. First off, I use DaVinci Resolve for video editing.
Ha! There's your first fucking mistake!
It is not supported on Fedora, so tweaking is needed to get it to run.
I would hope you're running DaVinci Box?
Especially on Fedora 43. Now, this is important for the story. I have been working on some instructions for myself on how to lock to a certain kernel version. Now, my GPU has an issue where it never presents grub on boot up, so I can't use that to switch kernels. I needed to lock to kernel 6.17, so I can't use that to switch kernels. Issue where it never presents grub on boot up. So
I've never heard of this problem before. Okay.
So I can't use that to switch kernels. I needed to lock to kernel 6.17 as kernel 6.18 broke my DaVinci Resolve distro box install. I learned how to lock it to 6.17 and block it from installing 6.18. This involved removing the failsafe, and I was totally aware of the risk in the context of what I was trying to achieve. And I finally worked out how it works. I blocked the install of 6.18, set the default to 6.17, I disabled the fallback.
Is there any reason you couldn't use the LTS kernel? Does Fedora package the LTS kernel? They probably do.
Rebuilt grub, and boom. And I have been running 6.17 without issue. The thing is, I had to go that little bit further. I had to push it. I thought, yeah, what if I want to try 6.18 again to see if it's fixed the issue, knowing full well that it's probably not going to be fixed until Fedora 44. I wanted to be able to switch between kernels, so I started on that journey. I kind of got my head around how it all works, albeit heavily reliant upon the instructions that I put together with the help of AI. I pretty much had it nailed within a VM. So I thought, you know what, let's do it. Just do it on my main machine.
Oh no.
So I removed the block and I installed 6.18 and I upgraded to it. I rebooted, run uname -r and it said 6.18. It worked. Yay. I tried DaVinci. No, that didn't work. Nothing. Nada. Zip. DaVinci Resolve just still wouldn't run. Now here is where...
How do they decide which kernel becomes the next LTS? Generally, it's whatever the last kernel release of that year is. That's usually how it's done.
The trouble began. I got videos to make. I needed DaVinci Resolve to run, and I can't be asked to move my workflow over to the Mac. I needed to return to 6.17. So I followed the instructions in reverse, or so I thought, and I used Grubby to set the default to 6.17. I rebooted
Grubby?
And...
What is Grubby? It's a command line tool for controlling grub? I've never considered using this. Command line tool for updating, displaying information about the configuration files for grub. Okay. Oh, sure.
typed uname -r and it showed 6.18. So I repeated it again using Grubby to set the default to 6.17. Reboot, open up terminal, uname -r, 6.18 again. I was stuck on 6.18.
Oh no.
And then I had a bit of a brain fart. I know, I'll jump into TTY by hitting Ctrl-Alt-F3, I'll go into the boot folder, and I'll delete the 6.18 kernel. I mean, after all, I had set...
Yeah, bad idea. Yeah, it's not recognizing it. I'm assuming he maybe doesn't have a 617 installed anymore.
6.17 to default, that should work, right? So I reboot and yeah, black screen. There's no way for me to boot to another kernel as I never get to see grub. No fallback as I stopped that from executing. I was pretty screwed. It turns out that I missed a critical safety rule, and that is after installing or removing kernels, you need to rebuild grub so it stops referencing kernels that no longer exist. So yeah, that was the day that I finally broke my install. Don't worry though, I did manage to get it all back using my live USB that I carry on my keyring, but I'll cover that at a later date. Anyway, if you've made it this far, thanks.
Honestly, for anyone who's like new to Linux, even if you're not new to Linux, always have a like ISO just sitting around. Just in case you break something, just in case something goes wrong, just have an ISO around and it'll make your life much easier. There have been multiple times I've had to live ISO into my Arch system. When I was building my new system, I had to live ISO in because the new motherboard couldn't find my boot drive, or I just had to like go in like update grub, tell it to like make a UEFI entry, but just make sure you have something around in case something goes wrong. Even if it's not that, just something. If you're drive encryption though, have fun.
Pop a comment below, share your first Linux disaster. I'm really keen to hear it. If not, then just pop an emoji below for the sake of the algorithm. Thank you so much for watching. You guys take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Okay. I'm now fully on UEFI. I can see... Wait, was he not using UEFI? What? Found out why I can't see grub and boot. My old motherboard, the one I had when I installed Fedora in the first place, had CSM enabled. No idea why, but that meant my install uses legacy BIOS, which is designed for older VGA displays. My modern GPU... Wait, you and... Yeah, okay, that explains why it wouldn't work. Honestly, I'm impressed you didn't realize that was a problem. How much RAM do you have in your system if you had CSM enabled you didn't spot an issue? I'm confused how you manage that. Oh, man.